Hello, are you out there? It's Mark with Redo Over, and we are back to Stellaris in-depth tutorial. This is like episode 20. I don't know. I had a couple days off. I was sick in January, mid-month, so things got slowed up. But we're back to it. Listen, we have a couple things going on right now. We have potentially run into the end of our expansion down here in the southeastern quadrant of the galaxy. We've come into contact with some aliens in the Strudma area. Am I seeing anything right now? No. But there must have been a ship, possibly. I don't think it's Vlur. Let's see. Who do we run into? The Boggles. Boggles? Is that how you say that? Potentially. Well, at any rate, we want to get a ship down here to claim Strudma. It looks like it is fully sussed out, so I can, in fact, build the starbase there just as soon as we're done with this research station. Okay. The other thing we did was we were closing in on technologies. We actually have quite a few that are going to be coming due just in the next year and a half here. We'll be capping those off. And in general, I think our disposition's looking pretty good. We are a sprawling galactic empire now, encompassing at least a quarter of the galaxy. You can see our empire size has grown considerably. I don't think we've really looked at this in quite a while. So up until your growth hits 100 total for your empire size, you don't get detriments to the costs of continued improvements to your research and your unity, your tradition gains. So let's just look at the negatives first. At your current empire size, we have the following modifiers: tech cost plus 15%, tradition adoption cost plus 15%. So it's just essentially a tax, a burden, a throttle on how quickly we're gaining those really useful and powerful things. Traditions and technologies are kind of everything. It's kind of it's how you grow and become more powerful in the game. So it's pumping the brakes. But let's look at the breakdown of our empire size here. The total of 177. This is going to be comprised from 34 total districts. Districts are, in fact, the areas we're building on planets. So like if we jump over to a colony like Earth, we have buildings down here, but these are districts. Every one of these little squares, the blue squares, the orange, yellow, red, and green squares, counts as a district. Now, most of our other colonies only have a few districts built up right now, but you could imagine as these get built out on the, what are we at, 7, 8, 9 worlds? I would say the Juvens don't count. That's a holding over here, right there. But the other 8, yeah, if each of them, say, have 20 districts built up at some point in the far future, that is going to be 160 districts on eight colonies. So let's back out of there, back up here. So what is that coming in at? It's 2 empire size per district is a cost of, empire size has no equivalence. There's no way to translate it to something else. It's just the score of empire size. We have 32 systems for 24 total cost. Now we have a 25% savings on that, taken off, minus 25% on that cost from our courier networks. So normally we would be looking at 1 empire size per system, and a system is literally like Obskyki, Bakramar, right, Wexia. Those are systems, 1-to-1. But we're getting a nice discount on it because of our courier networks. We're also getting from our courier networks a minus 25% discount on our colonies themselves. Now we have 8 colonies. It's costing us 60 total empire size point, meaning that each colony normally costs 10. Right? 25% onto 60 would take us to 80. So yeah, 80 divided by 8 colonies is 10 per. I think that's correct. So really, really expensive. And bear in mind then, so your colony world is 10, and then each district inside of there is adding on to that. Geez, that's That's a lot. That's really expensive. Is that correct? It must. Do we actually have 34 districts? Hold on. Now I'm actually curious as all heck. So 5, 9, 12, 14, 17, 18, 22, 23. I was going to say 21, but I won't. 27, 28, 29, 30, yeah, 31, 32, 33, 34. None there. None, yeah, that is it. That is it. And then finally, the last part is pops. Looks like the pops are coming in as straight 1-to-1. We have 93 total pops, costing us 75.2 empire size score, with a minus 15% due to our Beacon of Liberty. So the more minuses, the more minus percents we can get, the tighter we can keep that empire size. But we're going to, even if we didn't expand more physically in the galaxy, as our population grows and our district development grows, that number is going to continue to shoot up. So yeah, we'll easily hit empire size of 300, 400, 500. We'll see. But we got to try and force it down with, hopefully through tradition picks. Maybe some technologies can come in and help us out. Maybe some leadership abilities, essentially. I don't know, but I thought we'd take a look at that. Since we hadn't really looked at it before. But yeah, otherwise, there's a couple of odd little mining core laser units. We could probably go wipe those out. Actually, we probably should snuff those out. That's 683 sitting right there in Elthine. Let's the first fleet's not that beefy. It'll cost us a little bit. But yeah, let's go get them a little experience. Let's send them in right there to Elthine. And we may be able to send in a science ship later to scoop up, hoover up some of the good stuff in there. Maybe when the Russian ship's done investigating at Orthama 3, which will be pretty soon, we will send them back to maybe pick up the space debris and get a little bit of technology off those drones, potentially. So, yeah, we'll make that work out. Otherwise, we have some neutral aliens. These are the gardeners, caretakers, in the Tiyanki space whales up here at Tiana Vec. But we aren't going to mess with them since they aren't going to mess with us. Otherwise, I think we have a massive, massive group of privateers. Pirates. Privateers is a very nice way to say the word pirate. But you can see they have very large fleets. Right there's 18,000 fleet size, a smaller fleet of 6,600, and another of over 11,000. So we're not going to be messing with them for quite a while. But yeah, let's run the clock up here. We'll hit go, and we'll just run it the fastest. We already got stuff popping up. Encounter at Arich. We made first contact with the mysterious aliens at the Arich system. For now, we've codenamed them Dragons, until we can find out more about them. If they possess a language, we must decipher it in order to establish communications. Interesting. And I am pausing real quickly, because I'm curious as to where that is right there. Let's jump in. It's a small fleet size capability, 567. That's not really a threat to us, but yeah, it's these quite beautiful crystals, I'm guessing. You see there's like a swarm of them about. I would be careful with that. It seems so innocuous, but I have a feeling they could hatch into something bigger or summon some other larger space creature. Doesn't seem like it's that dangerous. But first contact aborted. Our first contact process with the Boggles has been aborted as they no longer exist. Oh, okay. I don't exactly know what happened to them, but fine. And then we have first contact with the Dragons. Yes. So we will assign one of our available envoys. Rodmilla is unavailable, cannot move for another 136 days. I'm not sure why that is. I've never seen that before. Possibly because the research that she had been doing with the Boggles was interrupted. She's trying to return to our space, potentially. via very slow ships. All right, there's not really anything we can do with this. We will leave it for the time being. Migration treaty proposal. This is between the Juvens and the Natfankin citizens. Doesn't really involve us. And system surveyed. Where are we at here? Runa? Okay. We're making good progress up in this chunk of the galaxy. Have we scouted out everything in this branch up here? I think so. I think we're maybe about time to potentially claim Bernard's star. You can see it's a very nice star. It's got quite a bit of good stuff, but yeah, everything else looks like it is fully explored, surveyed, I should say. So we will need a construction ship to actually claim that. Let's pause there then. There's other things we want to work on. Anomalies and excavation sites. Now you can see here we have the Armstrong is working at this excavation site. We have a Zvox excavation site we have not worked on yet, or archaeological site. And there are no other archaeological sites up here in the northwestern corridor. So that looks like it's in pretty good shape. And we keep the Russian ship, of course, has been kind of hoovering up anomalies as they've gone. So I would say, yeah, let's move the Gagarin down here to Zvox to work on excavating that site for the time being. And we'll run our clock forward here. Gas giant ship. Active scans of Orthama 3 have picked up what appear to be a large ship deep inside the atmosphere of the gas giant. Judging by nearby debris, there have been several failed attempts to salvage this derelict in the past. Any ship strong enough to withstand such crushing gravity must be a magnificent prize. And Science Officer Kang Zhu has proposed a salvage project of our own. We have two options: bring it up, whatever it takes. So a special project issued, salvage gas giant ship. No effort is too great. The effort is too great. Leave it down there. We would gain 50 influence. I would rather try and salvage the ship. So let's click that real quickly. I will pause. And let's jump to Orthama. Right. No, crud. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Where is Orthama? Right here. So he has no orders. We will switch him over to the research project. And did we ever end up sending the first fleet in? Yeah, they are en route. So they have a little bit of time, but we'll double back the Russian ship when the time is appropriate. The other thing I was waiting on was this right here to finish. Oh my gosh, another message pops up. No one listens. Careful analysis of the mycelium and the signals showed that it was likely part of a network of similar organisms, possibly spanning across the galaxy as a whole, and maybe beyond. While we did not know much, we discovered that this, as part of a network of mycelium, was also receiving signals from other places in the broader galaxy. Considering several factors, including the volume of data transferred, we do not think that the network is still in use. The fact that it is still partially active indicates that it is probably just dormant and not destroyed. What can we learn from it? So, add the fungal study zone to Niam Prime, which will give society research from jobs a plus 15%. So if we have science research stations there, we would gain a nice chunk of additional society research. But I don't know that Niam is strongly related to research right now. I'm going to pause and take a look at Niam real quickly. Wild storms, unstable tectonics. We'll have to wait till the month clicks around here. Hold on. Right there? No. Let me click off of Niam. Let's go back to Niam. I would have thought we would see the fungal thingy right here. What's going on here? Is there another planet in the Niam system that I'm... No, this is it, right? This is the only planet that we can work on in the Niam system. You see, this is just a gas giant. It's uninhabitable. I don't know. Under features, possibly? Hold on, let's take a quick... There we go. Okay, it's a planetary feature, not a... I don't even know what you'd call these, a special. So the fungal study is nothing. It's just a plus 15%. That's just so odd. I guess in my mind, it would just... that feature would be here, but it is essentially a zone feature. There's no way to interact with it. I don't believe we have to do anything. The spine mushrooms found here are an endless source of cryptic insight to the strange biology and how they connect to one another. Okay. We're not really going after research, although maybe. Niam has a lot of geological issues. We have big habitability and big happiness issues. But the unstable plate tectonics give engineering research a plus 20%. And wild storms gives a physics research a plus 20%. And now the fungal study zone gives society research a plus 15%. That easily makes this the most suitable world for doing research we have. Now, the habitability is quite low. But given time, if we could boost that habitability up, we may want to consider making this colony a research colony. I'll have to try and lock that away. There's not really a good way to set that right now. I don't want to click it off of being a colony. Like, I can come down here to auto designation, which is what it's currently auto designated. Colony designation. Colony. By having it labeled as a colony right now, we get extra stability, extra amenities, extra happiness, automatic resettlement chance. Those are good benefits. My concern is that, an hour of play later, by the time this colony is built up and is no longer in the colony phase, I won't remember that I want to make it a research world. If we make it a tech world, we will get research lab build speed plus 25% and researchers' jobs, workers' upkeep at a minus 20, plus the benefits to research. I'm not going to make the change now, but I will try and hold on to it in my head. Okay, what else we got going on here? Archaeological site event pending. This is under the ice. We've tunneled through significant quantities of ice to find the intact wreckage of a submarine sealed within an airtight cave. Tundral conditions have long since reduced all organic matter to fine dust, but so too have they preserved a wealth of cultural artifacts. Our anthropological survey suggests a hotbed of political activity as this submarine's crew broke away from the nearby colony. They preceded several sovereign boundaries within the hull of their own submarine. They proclaimed, espousing all manner of political ideology. Surprisingly, the extreme factionalism appears to have strengthened the social bond of this crew rather than forcing them apart. The matter is sure to spark lively debate amongst our own political scientists. Fascinating. So this is the capstone. The excavation is done. I think I don't see additional steps here. Maybe. So unity gained is a massive 1,500. Society research gained also a massive 1,500. Oh, here we go. I can see actually we were here on chapter 4, so we are now progressing to chapter 5. Maybe the final chapter, or maybe you can fit a 6th one here. We're going to find out. 90 days. Breakthrough chance 0%. Difficulty is only a 2 now. Skill bonus 3. Yeah, Dei Chang is a level 3 scientist with extra archaeological excavation speed techniques. So that's cool. We'll let him do that. Construction complete. Let's jump here. That's Brius. And we know that we want to claim Strudma. Here we go. Build the starbase there, the outpost, and then we'll get that upgraded to our final 6th proper starbase. We'll get that upgraded. Some defensive capabilities, maybe something to help gather a bit of the trade, this far-flung branch. But I don't know that we're going to go much further south through here. I think that's going to be the end point. Although, you can see right off to the side here, we have several additional systems to survey, as well as quite a few in here to backfill. So, I know we're sending the Gagarin down to Zvox to work on that, but maybe we shouldn't waste their time on that archaeological site. Maybe we wait for the Armstrong to finish up their archaeology, because they are on the final, we think the final stage, chapter 5 here. We'll let the Armstrong jump onto this. let's take the Gagarin and actually have them start backfilling in all of this. There's quite a bit of work left to be done, it looks like. So, that being said, let's send them here. A little ways to go, but it'll keep them busy, keep them out of our hair. And what else we got going on? Runa is surveyed, we know that, and let's run that clock forward. Oh boy. Let's just take a quick look here. The Senate has voted on failed the resolution of the readied shield. Okay. Crud, I don't exactly know where we stood on that personally. I haven't been paying that much attention to the galactic community stuff. Let's just look over here. Proposal Q. Pangalactic recycling initiatives. Diplomatic weight from economy is at minus 20%. That probably wouldn't help us. I think we have one of the stronger economies. Pop consumer good upkeep, minus 5%. That's kind of good. And blocker clear time, plus 10%. Jeez. It seems like the only real benefit to that is for civilizations with a weaker economy to have more political relative strength. That's not going to help us out. What about this? Guardian Angels Act. Diplomatic weight from fleet power is minus 20%. Defensive army morale plus 15. Army upkeep plus 5. Yeah. I would almost say we would oppose both of these. I'm going to vote now. We don't want either of those, so that's fine. And let's run the clock. Okay. We have Jessica Newman reporting in here. Strange mountain for ... Efforts to map the surface of the planet have identified a strange mountain range in the southern hemisphere. It does not appear to have formed naturally. This is a routine difficulty project for Jessica. Obviously, she's a stud. So in less than 3 months, she'll have results. We will have her research that right now. Oh, hey, we're fighting some mining drones here. Let's jump in. Oh yeah, we're in the thick of it. Oh shit. Can we take out that mining station? Oh no. Although I don't see that it has firepower. That's the mining station that manufactures the mining drones and maintains them. But I don't actually see that it, although it has hull points and armor points, I don't see that it can shoot back, right? We're not seeing the military power symbol. But I would like to take advantage of, if possible, let's jump into our government's tab, edicts and policies. Yeah, since we have so many of the volatile motes, let's use ammunition, explosives, and reactive armor just to push up our firepower. You can see there it jumped up into the 1K range. And we'll turn down the speed just a bit so we can watch us pound these guys to oblivion. These drones have no shielding, FYI. Wow, it's really hard to track that. Alright, that's it. There's the debris. Small cutting lasers, ion thrusters is what's left in the debris cloud. So, let's simply send the first fleet back for repairs. We'll hit repairs. She'll go back to the Strattal station. And Orthama, nearly done attempting to salvage this gas giant ship. We'll run that forward real quick, see what the outcome is. Project complete. All right. The attempt by science officer Kang Zhu to salvage the derelict ship from the atmosphere of Orthama 3 was a failure. The gas giant's heavy gravity disabled the engines of one of our engineering tugs, which then collided with the derelict. Several lives were lost. The ancient vessel was pushed even deeper into the atmosphere beyond our reach. Unfortunate. Yeah, that does suck. Kang Zhu gains 200 experience. Okay, it's better than nothing. That being said, now that he's done there in Orthama, it's fully surveyed. There's no research projects there, right? No. So let's send the Russian ship here to Elthine to research that debris field. They'll be there. Crap, I wasn't really paying attention. Probably in less than a year. It's not very far away. Okay. That's a time project. That is the scrap. The space debris will essentially disperse in orbit eventually. It's not recoverable. So I think they give you 1,000 days. Let's just click on it. Oh, wow. 1,700. That's like 5 years. Yeah, easily 5 years. Okay. I'm looking over our other events real quick. Can we do first contact with the Dagons yet? Yes. I'm glad I checked that. Redmilla finally returned to us. We will accept sending her in there to try and make first contact with the dragons. And other than that, we just have some excavation sites waiting to see what happens. I'm having trouble with my middle mouse wheel. I've been having a lot of trouble like clicking it. I think I'm gonna have to get a new mouse, but not your issue. But I've noticed I can't seem to grab anything with that middle mouse and drag the screen. Let's run that clock forward. Holy crap. Don't count your planets. Our scientists have discovered something rather monstrous. The mountain range they scanned earlier was in actuality the outer membrane of a gigantic egg. It's uncertain what behemoth could lay such an egg and what horror could hatch from it. Wow, that's fascinating. Study it from afar. This would add a permanent +4 society research to the Siplum C. What C is that? I don't know what C is in Roman numerals. Holy crap. Is that 100? Is that 102? What is C? Is or C50? Shit, I don't know. Or crack it open. Issue a special project. Crack the egg. Let's crack that egg. Let's crack that egg. Let's pause that real quickly. What system was that around? I don't even know where that just happened. Was that here? No, not here. Hold on. Research projects in systems. What? Sorry. You can go to your situation log and see where it is. Yes, crack the egg. Where are we at here? Yeah, that is in Siplum. Okay, so the Darwin's working on that right now. Keep busy for a while, and we will run the clock. See what's going on. We're eventually going to have to send a science ship back into the Arich system. Arich? Oh, and what is this Xeno ship here? This is a Juven. God, I wonder if the Juven are going through Ishtian space to get to us, or if they're coming around the long way. But I'm actually kind of surprised to see one of their ships in here. All right, hold on. Construction complete. Right down here. It's Strudma. Yeah, let's grab that energy mine. So 3 points for a single one. And there's an archaeological site in Strudma. That's not bad. We'll keep pushing them forward, but yeah, we need to get like a second construction ship and a second science ship down into this arm. However, I did notice we have space nuts because of our science. Oh, there we go. Rare crystal mining, exploit resource of space nut. Mining these crystals without damaging or even destroying them is an extremely delicate process. It requires advanced equipment capable of pinpoint precision, new research. Here we are in the engineering queue. We have unlocked star base upgrade so we can get to the star hold. Just a bigger station. Remember, we're going to be building, we have 5 stations now. We're going to build to our 6th one. I wouldn't mind that. It kind of feels like a very defensive sort of thing. But I'll tell you what else I see. I see exploiting the research of exotic gases. I would like to have that capability. Do we have exotic gases in our territory? If I violently grab and drag my window here, no, I don't see that. We of course we have space nuts, which I'm excited. I'm excited we have so many options with that, but I am not seeing exotic gases anywhere. Now, it's possible we could score one in here, but yeah, it's a good idea to get access to as many rare resources as possible. I would love to have the extra, unlock the destroyer. It's the next size up from a Corvette. It's critical we get that eventually, like it really is. And we have the ion thruster. It's partially researched now, although we'll get a little bit of a bump with that when the Russian ship researches that mining drone space debris. So let's leave that. Let's go with the exploit, the exotic gases for now. Yeah, these other two are getting close. We'll run the clock. What else is going to happen here? Oh, yeah, we're kind of on normal slow mode. We'll speed it up a bit. All right. We got ships moving around everywhere. Oh, wait. I completely forgot that we need to get this construction ship was going to claim Bernard Star. Well, yeah, we do want to claim Bernard Star, but between now and then, let's grab these space nuts. First thing we want to do is build the mining station here. We have another constructor right here to grab that in Uproth. And whoever finishes first will send to Runa, and then we'll get Bernard Star. Bernard Star can wait. We have plenty of systems, so let's run the clock forward. Once those start harvesting up here, just realize I've been eating away at our volatile motes this whole time. I forgot to turn those off after the fight with the mining drones, so we will click those off. We were burning through 9 a turn. That's expensive. That'll get us straightened out there. I don't know if we'll ever find exotic gases, but we're going to have a bunch of rare crystals coming in pretty shortly. And we have a newly founded colony right here at Lishval Prime. Lishval is under the frontier sector. I'm trying to remember exactly what defines a sector, but if you look, you see this break right there between our main sector, which I guess we're going to call the Earth sector, right? You see this blob, but there's this distinct line with this lighter gray, thinner, lighter gray, and that comes up as far as here. And it has Stratal, Wenkwort, and oh, crikey, in the Wenkwort Prime sector. For Lishval, though, where is even Lishval? What am I looking at here? Yeah, right here. Yeah, I guess the point is it's not part of the Earth sector. You can see how many systems Lishval is. So this new arm down here will become the Lishval sector for all intents and purposes. Let's actually jump into the colony. Let's go to create new sector. And now it is the Lishval Prime sector. It'll update within a month and pop that in there. And you can see now the new thin light gray line outlining all of this. So even though there's this choke point, I'm pretty sure these systems will fall into the Lishval sector. Just, I mean, you can see how physically close they are. So that makes sense. And then that would allow us to appoint a governor if we have anyone available to take over that sector. Let's just click on here real quick and just see if anyone doesn't have a job. So this little, I don't know, like briefcase, suitcase up here shows their current job. So head of research, Minister of State, Minister of Defense, commanding the Darwin, commanding the Russian ship, governing Earth, commanding the Armstrong, an official representing our interests in the galactic community. Trying to think what they're doing. I don't know what job that is. I don't know what job that is. We will look. I'm curious, honestly, what that is. An official governing the Wenkwort Prime sector. Who else do we have? Commanding the 3rd Fleet. It's one of our generals. Another commander commanding the 5th Fleet. We have a few recruitable leaders. So I'm so curious. If I jump up to the government, Minister of State Dolores Mwanga, who was our president way back when. Oh, that's crazy. Ankosha, I don't know where. How do you say it? Anakosha? I don't know where they exist. If I jump to leaders, and sort by. She's an official. Represent our interests in the galactic community. Okay. Up here, I'm clicking on the Senate, the galactic community. Senate floor. Resolutions. Oh, right here, delegate. Oh yeah, there. That I didn't realize we assigned that. I didn't know you could choose that. I'm assuming then that means that your leaders can have traits that would make them better at currying favor and having influence in the galactic community, potentially. This looks like she's a homesteader, which makes her better at growing food, gives farmer jobs if she's in charge of planets. Deep connections, monthly influence +5 when she is on her council. And otherwise, that's just her general level 3 leadership stuff. Okay. I don't ever recall assigning her to that task. But let's jump back to our leaders tab real quick. Just because I want to see. We're maxed out on officials. We could have one more commander. We could have one more scientist. Jump to scientists. Jump down to recruitable leaders. Would any of these scientists of these 5 be suitable perhaps to take over the governorship of the Lishville Prime sector? So let's just look real quickly. Extra unity. That's extra science, materials, research, leader experience gain, statecraft, survey speed, and military theory craft. Let's jump to commanders real quick. Same process. These are the 5 we have, including one Juven commander, but that is army damage won't help us. Army build speed won't help us. Ship combat, more unity, and council agenda speed. So, Manok, the commander, would be a better choice potentially to have in the galactic community because of that politician trait. If that's the case, though, we could then take Ankosha out and put her in charge of a sector governor for extra food production. Does anyone really care? I don't really care about food that much, but I almost feel like it would be a smart move. Yeah, let's try it. Let's grab this commander. We'll hire them. Yes. Okay. And then let's jump back over here to, Lishville, sorry. We'll assign the job of Ankosha. There she is. She will now give us more food, and it seems that home planet Earth affects +2 farmer jobs. But this is her home now. Shit. I wonder if she will get... Let's check the population. I've never messed with this before. I don't see any farmer jobs there. Okay. Let's do one other quick thing, though, since we did hire this guy. He needs a job. And how do we assign him to our galactic community? Select the leader. There you go. And let's just make sure we have the right guy. Where is he? Under our commanders, right? Oh, please tell me you can assign him. Whoa. Only officials can be assigned to the galactic community? Not commanders, apparently. But he has a trait that would be good for that. Now I'm confused. Oh no. That is not what I wanted to see happen here. Okay, let's run the clock forward. Maybe if we go past the next month, he will pop free, potentially. We'll pause it there again. There's a newly founded colony. Ship repairs done at the first fleet after so they made it back to their Stratal starbase. Construction complete right here at Strudma. And that is a crappy planet, 30% on that tundra world, so we are not going to colonize Strudma for right now. I'm not exactly sure what else to do with this. The India, I guess we'll have it proceed over here. And is the Darwin is trying to crack the egg? Okay, we'll have a little bit of time to fiddle around with that before it's quite ready to go. Adriatic's working on their mining stations. Everybody's got a job. Everyone's scooting around. But yeah, here we go. We have an idle leader, as we know. Moonin Manok. They're idle. We'll jump back into here. Select the leader. Crap. I'm just looking at this. It's only officials. They're not going to let us put him in there, even though he has a trait that would be specifically for the galactic community. That's frustrating. I think at this point we would fire him. We would let him go because he's not helping us out. These are our leaders. These are our recruitable leaders, and these are recruitable leaders external to us. None of them are going to help. I wonder what effect it has not having a representative in the galactic community. But we certainly don't need him, unfortunately. I'm going to dismiss him because he has no function as a commander by itself. It's not why I hired him. I am really confused about that. The trait is for the galactic community, but you can't put a commander in the galactic community. We tried. It just didn't work, but I'm not going to lose any. We got to move on here. Let's take a look at Lishval Prime real quick, though. Anacostia is good there. I see they have not gotten additional farming jobs. I'm going to pause real quickly while we're looking at that. We'll get to that transmission here real quickly. But tell you what we do need. We need housing, and we do need jobs. This little place will be growing pretty shortly. 25 months, so not a problem. We can get some buildings built up. What is this world good for? Under the features, we have one special feature, this little diamond shape. Let's see what that is before we get too far ahead. Rushing waterfall. What do we got? Less jungle. What is it considering the special feature? Active volcano, dense jungle. Those aren't special. Toxic kelp. None of those are special. Oh, it considers the bubbling swamp a rare planetary feature because it gives you +3 mining districts. Okay, sure. It doesn't seem that special to me, but okay. Ultimately, mining would be reasonable here. And then what's this special? High gravity. Build costs are increased, district costs increase, habitability is diminished. In max districts, for some reason, is +2. I don't know why high gravity would do that, but sure. This world doesn't really seem to specialize. Sorry, it doesn't seem specialized for anything. If we look over here, we can see we have a mining world, a generator world. We have the colony of Niam Prime, which we may make a research world, right? We've been talking about that. We have an agri world at Owai Crikey. Wenkwort is a Gaia world that is into mining. Uproth is also an agri world. We don't need all the damn food. I think we should start switching some of these worlds over to generating consumer goods and alloys. So as I look at this, I would say, you know what? We don't need the food at all. One of these worlds, probably Owai Crikey? No, oh gosh, I'm trying to think if the caretakers don't want us to do a lot of mining stuff. Or no, I'm thinking of Wenkwort. I'm thinking of Wenkwort. Has the caretakers that don't want you doing a lot of industrial stuff on their planet. So, listen, we've already started building out the industry here. Let's switch the designation from Agri-World to the one that does the Factory World? Sure. Let's make this pump out as many consumer goods as we can. We'll jump up here. We have the Civilian Industries building option. Let's get that in there because we're out of jobs. Okay, that's cool. So if we jump back to Uproth Prime, let's switch them to a Forge World. Right? Again, we don't need... Our food is sitting at a reasonable point, and we will give them a job. They're out of jobs. And we will give them the Alloy Foundries. Now, the Alloys Foundry in the Civilian Industries just gives 2 more jobs, either for alloy workers or factory consumer good workers. So, what I try and do with my initial 7, 8, 9 colonies is have one that's mining, one that's generating, one that is making consumer goods, one that's making alloys, one that is doing research, and if possible, one that is generating unity. So kind of like hitting all your things. And then if you gain more colonies, you can focus in on, we want more research, we want more unity, we want more alloy, and you start doubling and tripling up colonies on the things you really need. But otherwise, your one mining colony, theoretically, in this case Alpha Centauri Prime, would generate all the mineral production we would hopefully ever want. And that's just all they do. If you're desperate, you could have a colony that is an agri-world. that just makes food, but I wouldn't personally do that. And then, of course, your main capital world is always an empire capital. You can't specialize it, but you kind of spread it a little bit to do whatever you need. I mean, in this case, we've got a couple of research labs, so they're actually putting out quite a bit of research. Let's cycle through real quickly here, though. We're out of jobs everywhere. Now, fortunately, we have tons of minerals, so let's get... I think we need to do a quick pass through our 8 colonies and make sure we are looking good with amenities, housing, and jobs, because we just haven't paid attention to that in a little while. So we're out of building slots, meaning we need to develop the remainder of these. Food's getting a little tight. Let's just take a look at the market real quick. We're buying consumer goods, we're buying alloy, we're not selling anything. So we're actually getting pretty tight on food. I don't want Earth focusing on food, though. So I'm going to go for the building districts because it's going to get us more housing and it'll open up more building slots. I think if we want to specialize, that's what we're going to need. And that will provide at least a clerk job for now. So we're not out of the woods yet. Let's jump over here to Alpha Centauri Prime. They just need more mining jobs, but let's just check real quick. Yeah, there's no building that's going to help them with that. So let's just jump in here and throw in a mining district. Hell, let's do 2. Let's jump to Sirius Prime. This is our generator world. You can see we do, in fact, already have the energy grid developed. And we have jobs. We have housing. I'm going to actually do another city district because I want to get another building slot, and then we'll throw in the energy district after that. Okay, let's move through to OY Crikey. It's now our factory world. That'll get him the 2 jobs. And let's throw in an industrial district after it. Let's jump over to Wenkwert is a mining world. Do we only have the one? We don't want more than one mining world. Ha ha ha. Alpha Centauri is a mining world. You can see it has quite a few mining slots. Sirius Prime is a generator world. It's got a moderate amount of generator slots. Ain't good enough. Factory world here is good. Wenkwert, we don't want to be a mining world. It would benefit from culture, worker, and researchers, research output, and more culture. So this should be our auto-designate to a unification center. Bureaucratic upkeep. No, hold on. Let's see what else we can find. Air Forces World, Tech, Refinery, Unification. It might be unification. Urban? What does Urban World get us? No. Yeah, I think it's going to be a unification center. You can have more bureaucrats cheaper, and that's unity based. Okay, we didn't really need either of these. What we need is building slots then. We're getting a chemical plant here. I don't think the robots want us to do that. Minor strategic research gathering output is minus 70%. Gas refinery output minus 70%. Crud. Oh, it's a trick. It's a trap. Wenkwert is protected by the caretakers, but they've warned us not to harvest and do factory work here. So one of the special features is a bubbling swamp. But it's there to trick you. Well, no, that's the mining district. How the hell? Oh, we're just doing a chemical plant, just a flat chemical. We don't want this. We really don't. I'm removing it from the queue. It will cause problems for us ultimately. So here's what I say we do. We get administrators in there. Yeah, sure. Bureaucrats. We don't really have any religious stuff. We have the Autochathon Monument, which is getting us some culture workers. But yeah, let's get administrative offices in there, and then we'll do another city district to get another building slot. So that is what Wenkwert will do because... Oh, I see. It is culture workers specifically. Crap. My bad. Hold on. Gene clinics is medical. Entertainers. We don't have access to more culture workers outside of the Autochathon Monument. We would need some sort of religious structure, church type of thing, which we don't have access to. Do we go with the administrative offices? I mean, we need more unity no matter what. You could make it a research world, but we already know we want to do Niam as our research world. So let's just leave it. I don't want to waste any more minerals I've been pouring into this. So we'll do the administrative offices and we'll have the culture workers and just let them roll with it. Fine. Okay. Let's keep going through. Forge world. Yeah, that looks good. The Niam colony, we are waiting until they're slightly more developed. Yeah, we'll wait for them to develop more, but we do want to eventually make this a research world. Okay, Lishfall is the brand new colony. We just got in there, and we weren't sure what we were doing with this. More research. We've got consumer goods. We've got alloys. We have minerals. We have energy. We don't need food per se. Well, you could do an agri world. And we are actually getting quite tight on food, and we do have what's her nut here, which is some sort of agri person. Sure, yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's do agri. We'll throw that in there, and we also want something to kind of beef up amenities though for when it's no longer a colony. So the gene clinic gives us some amenities and pop growth. Yeah, there you go. That'll keep them busy, keep them out of our hair. So I think every planet at least has something to work on. We want to stay on top of our job needs. Although Niam could use a little more. Let's get them their... Oh, they already got their medical. Let's leave it at that. Let's get them actually a research lab just to help plan it in our heads that that's what we're doing. And we'll build a city district to follow that up. So we're kind of building ahead a little bit more than we need to, but because we don't check in on these colonies every time, probably not a bad idea to sort of front load it. And we're closing in here, probably on our time, but let's check this non-aggression pact coming in. This is the Ishnians, a moral democracy, Federation builders. They are fanatic egalitarian, and they are pacifists. Very cool. The galaxy presents enough threats without having to worry about a war between the United Nations of Earth and the Ishnians. Yeah, we crushed the Ishnians. If you recall, we had grabbed Binder from them and Klendath. Like, we whooped up on them pretty good. So, agree? Sure. We don't need the Ishnians to be our enemies, and we've already got the Juvens brought within our sphere of influence. At some point, we may be able to get these guys to become a holding force as well if we jump over to our contacts. Ishnians are sitting at a plus 150. They are inferior to us, which would help. The Juvians are equivalent to us, and we get along a lot. But yeah, let's let that sit a little bit. Let's let that non-aggression pact with the Ishnians sit for a year or two, and maybe we come back and see if they'll vassalize to us. They're inferior. I don't think they'll have much choice. What else do we got here? Technology just came through. The mining drone laser. Using intense focus lenses in combination with oscillating firing frequency to help create lasers strong enough to mine asteroids or shoot down hostiles. Yeah, here we go. What else do we want? More energy credits. It's just straight up bonuses to our energy grids. Planetary FTL inhibitors and star-based FTL inhibitors. What does that do? That prevents fleets from jumping away when they attack you. So if they start to lose, you're going to destroy the fleet. They don't just get to have like 90% of the ships escape, go repair, and come back again. They don't get away. You just kill them. Maybe they can get to the jump point and get out, but it would be bad news for them for sure. What else? Auxiliary fire control. By installing an auxiliary fire control system, our ships can afford to make more advanced calculations, increasing accuracy. It's not a bad option. That would be like a module that would add a +5 chance to hit. Adds a little more alloy and a little more power usage on the ship design, but it's all kind of automatically put in there if you're not designing your own chips. It wouldn't hurt, that's for sure. And finally, the Hyperlane Breach Point. A transit hub. Automatic resettlement for slaves and non-sapient robots. We are making worker robots, so could help a little bit. And the Hyperdrive 2. We've identified the existence of points in space where ships expends less energy to breach their way into a hyperlane. This will lead to new generation of hyperdrives. It's all good. We're not hurting for energy, though, right now, to be quite honest. Like, we just have a massive surplus. So let's go for that auxiliary fire control. I'd rather be just a little more effective on the combat front. Like, we're not really going hard into combat, but it won't hurt anything. And let's let the Xeno diplomacy run down here. Let's see if we can get to the final month on that. Is everybody doing their job? Are you guys done with that nut place yet? God, they're still working on the nut harvesting.
Research complete.
This guy is as well. I'm pausing. We fully excavated an archaeological site, so we have a couple things. Let's do our research first. We've completed diplomatic weight plus 10%, and we've unlocked the embassy complex. Advancing our understanding of the interactions with and manipulations of the Xeno is a necessary step for forming permanent interstellar alliances. New research, please. Okay. We have blocker clearing, terraforming, fleet command limit. That's not naval capacity. It just means how many ships we can fit under the command of one leader, like the size of the individual groups of ships, fleets. Hydroponic farming. Hydroponic farms go on the planets, but the unlocking the starbase building, this is an interesting, goes in a building slot of a starbase. It gives you, for 1 energy, 10 food. That's pretty good. I wouldn't mind having that. It's quite cheap. You can see here the research cost very low, and it matches well with Herman's biology expertise, so we'd get that very fast. And then 2 more blockers that are partially researched. Let's I want to get those hydroponic bays. We'll have that very soon. Did the Russian ship... They're still working on the scrap there, which is fine. These guys are there. And, yeah, let's finish up the archaeological site. That'll be it for tonight. Having surveyed all we can from the wrecked submarine and abandoned habitats, our team on EJOC 10A are preparing to regroup near the planet's surface. There's much we still don't know about the colony. Most of what we found simply amounts to an eclectic legacy of life on a particularly lonely frontier. Although their civilizations did not yet possess faster light technology, hardship seems to have steered this once submarine colony towards some singular breakthroughs in science and economics, which we are now at liberty to exploit. These cautionary tales may benefit our colonists. This is coming from our UNS Armstrong, obviously. Frozen Submariner's Legacy modifier added for 20 years to our empire, I think. Colony development speed plus 20. It's not that useful. We don't have any active colonies developing right now. And pop amenity usage minus 3%. Baby amount. I'll take it. Okay, how good was that? Probably not that good. But let's grab the Armstrong, and we'll get to Chang, who's just rocking along. You can see his experience progress bar there. He's 2/3 of the way to level 4 now, so he's doing really well for himself. We're going to send him in here to Zvox to excavate that site. That'll keep him busy for many years working on that. Happily, I might add. I think he'll really enjoy that. You know, I think that's enough for tonight here, folks. It's evening. I hope my energy level was okay. I'd say the only thing that really kind of flustered me tonight was not realizing with the galactic community that you could have a commander with a galactic community trait that couldn't be assigned. Am I missing something? If anyone knows if I was just misunderstanding that, I would appreciate it, right? Yeah. But otherwise, I think we made good progress. We got those researches out, and actually we have a whole nother slot of research. Well, not a whole nother slot, but these 2 will come pretty quick. This one is a long way out. Why is that going to be so long? Wow. That's fascinating. Just before I let you, right? 3,600, 2,400, 5,100, right? So you would think this isn't even twice this, right? But why? Why this massive discrepancy? Why? Do we have research in the piggy bank for society and physics, but not for engineering? Potentially. Cost that 78 months. Base 44 empire size. Wow. I don't quite know why the timetable is so distorted there when that number just isn't bigger than these. Oh, I might look into it. I see stored research right there. Stored research is at plus 107. Stored research is at plus 127. No stored research. That's exactly it. So that's the little beaker, the clock, and that. We have no stored research for engineering. Thus, it's really slowing down our engineering research. Oh. So something to bear in mind. I actually kind of wish up here, under the research dropdown, it would show. It shows the research you generate a month, but it doesn't show what your stored research is. Okay, if you watched, thank you so much. Hopefully we will continue on strong in February with more Stellaris playthroughs. If you watched, thank you. Take care.